So this is my story, right? I've gum in my mouth. Let me take this out. So this is my story, right? About like this interview that was terrible. So anyway, I'm studying to be a computer engineer or whatever, right? And so I go in the room. I sign up for a job interview with these guys, right? On my campus, and I go in the room right for the interview. There were three guys. There was one Indian looking guy. There was one white guy, and another like a skinnier looking white guy. And then there was another white guy, but he was just like regular sized or whatever. The white guy that was regular sized was in the middle. The Indian guy was on the side, on the left side, and the skinny white guy was like on the other side, on the right side, right? And so I'm sitting here dead in the middle of the table. Like they start asking me questions about inputs and outputs or whatever, and I answered it right, apparently. Answered it right. So I let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When I was in the office, right, waiting to be like called up for the job interview, because yeah, that's what we do. They don't just take me immediately, even when they have nobody in there. I have to wait. And so anyway, when I was waiting in the office with the two women as a receptionist, I remember that they said that all the guys, right, all the people going for an interview, right, they were all men. They were all males. And even a few of them, like, they showed up late. They showed up late, and so I just found that very interesting. So it's like, I'm the only woman who's trying to get, a job here on the campus in the engineering field. So like engineering field, basically what we're gonna do is like we're just gonna like troubleshoot equipment and all that stuff, simple stuff. But I was the only one, interviewing, the only woman, right? And so anyway, back to being in the interview room with the three guys. Let me tell you, it didn't go so well. No. It's not because I answered any of the questions wrong, right? It's just by the very fact that one guy in the middle, he had it's almost like he had like a personal issue with me, right? A personal issue. I couldn't even quite understand. Like when I was like, I made the highest grade in the classroom, right? For it's some type of class that you take for, like just managing yourself, just your time, your stress, your how to be more efficient and better at work, and how to be organized, and just like get like a certain self-esteem about yourself when you're working, and just basically like human like positive human traits. And I'm like, well, I scored the highest in that class. Did you know what? Two of them, right? So 2 out of 3 judges, a judge on the left and a judge on the right, right? They were like happy about it. They were really happy, but it was short-lived. Why? Because the judge in the middle, he got nasty. He raised his voice, his face was down like this, and his face was red. What does that got to do with anything? Right? What it has to do? It's cause like he, for some reason, he wasn't even able to understand, right, what I was trying to say. Like, he wasn't able to understand like what I was trying to say. Like, what does your the psychology? It's like it's a type of psychology class, but they don't call it psychology. They call it something else. But like, what does it have to do anything? It's like he wasn't able to put two and two together. And I'm just sitting here like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I have to, make the judge, because instead of interviewer, I'm probably thinking judge. I have to make the judge like freaking, happy or whatever in my head. But like when I left that interview office, it's just like the difference in what I was thinking. I was thinking that this dude's an idiot. This dude's an idiot. Like, how are you not able to put two and two together? So his face turned red. He raised his voice. He had a bad attitude with me. Right? And the two other guys, the left and the right, they're okay. And I tried to, tell him that because it applies to this, the reason why I'm here. Because like knowing how to handle yourself in business is the reason, it applies to getting a freaking job. Basically had to dumb it down somewhat. um, so what happened next? He asked me a question about like some computers, the input and output. I didn't get anything wrong, but like I was just trying to think of like the questions because like I took the class, but it's kind of fuzzy on me, and so I was looking at the computer and the guy, and I was just like, and I was just thinking, I didn't get anything wrong. Like I was just looking at the computers because there was the computers on the other side of the classroom, right? A whole bunch of them. I'm just like, and then the guy in the middle, he's like. He starts turning his head like I don't even want to really do it in this video too many times, but back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like really fast, like just like what I was doing, right? And to me, like that's ridiculous. It's like, why are you going to turn your head so fast? It's like it almost looked like he's going to get whiplash, right? And it's like it's like I kind of wanted to tell him, right, there's no answers over there. There's no answers over there. Like, just freaking chill. I kind of wanted to tell him that, but I didn't tell him that at all. And so, like, I'm just looking at the guy like, I don't quite understand, like, why is he losing his goddamn mind? Not losing his mind, but you understand, like, just being, like, disrespectful. Just very disrespectful. And this is what I almost, like, regret. Because I want to just, like, dumb down my resume a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it's, like, if you put too much information on your resume, people are going to expect, like, a lot more from you, right? I mean, like, this is at least, like, what I learned from, like, the few job interviews I've been to, and I actually went online and I read about it. I read about, like, I read that if you put too much information on your resume, it doesn't matter if the job is like a beginner job. It does not matter if it's a beginner job. They're going to be trying to they're going to ask you like certain questions that is, that's more advanced, and they're going to hold you to a higher standard. So it's like, it's just to a point where like, it's not going to be like a typical interview for everybody and fair for everybody. It's going to be different for you. It's going to be harder for you. And I'm like, well, that's not even fair. That's not even fair, but that's what people freaking do, right? So anyway, I actually went to class a little bit, right, for computers and all that stuff. That was a long time ago. I don't even know how long, right? It's not a college class at all. So, you see what I mean? It's just like a trade school or what is it, trade class? Yeah, some type of class like that, right? And so that's what I went to like freaking 6 years ago or whatever, right? And the guy in the middle, he's like, do you have any more questions you want to ask? And then he turns over there, like he just turns his head to the guy on the left, right? So this is my left here, right? This is my left. So yeah, I don't know what's showing on your computer screen. I don't know, probably showing right. But anyway, this is my left here. And I'm like, okay, so the guy on the left is probably his friend, or they were probably looking at my resume, and then they were trying to see like what questions they want to ask me before I even came into the room. What questions they want to ask me before I came into the room. And so basically, yeah, of course, I'm being held to like a higher standard than like anybody else. He asked me the question. I wasn't able to answer it because I wasn't quite sure like what he meant. Then like the other guys, he comes in, and then the other guy, the third guy, the skinnier guy, he comes in, he clarifies like what the other guy was asking me, because I didn't understand what the frick he was asking me, honestly. And then once he clarified it, I knew what he was talking about then. It's just that the question was confusing. And I didn't like really ask questions. I should have asked some questions. But it just like the question he asked me confused me. Until I got it clarified, right? And so this whole entire time I'm just in this job interview, and I'm wondering, why are these people being like so weird, so disrespectful? It's like, because here's the thing about them. The point of their job is to like help, mentor people, students, who's trying to get a better education, who's trying to freaking learn. So that's like their whole entire point. It's just to mentor us, right? But these guys here, right? They're acting. I don't even know, like, by the way they're acting, because it's just like it was just kind of weird, right? It's just weird. It didn't seem like they wanted to teach me anything. They just wanted to kind of just like, I don't even know. It just didn't seem right. The dude in the middle, he had a bad attitude. The guy on the left, the Indian guy. Oh, I think that he's Indian. I don't even know what the frick he is. He's kind of like brown skinned, but like maybe he calls himself white. You know those types of races or whatever. They call themselves white or they call themselves Asian or whatever. So what was I owing about, right? I don't even know what I was owing about. Oh, okay. When I told the guy, right? When I told him that it's been a long time ago, he's just like looking at me with a certain look. I'm like, what the frick is this? I'm just a student here. What the frick? Why you guys question me like this? It's just like he's shooting me some type of look. And then I'm like, this reason why I'm here. I told him straight up, the reason why I'm here is to learn. To learn because you guys are supposed to be my mentor. That's the reason why I'm in here. And then like he's like, okay. Whatever he was doing with his mouth. He didn't say the words out loud, but he was like, and I'm just like, I'm just like at the point where I'm like, you know what? This behavior is just weird. Like, I should get up and walk out. I should tell the dude in the middle that he has no idea what he's talking about, right? He has no idea what he's talking about, and you two don't. What was it? And you two, not you two, but like you guys don't really seem like you want to mentor anybody. You don't really seem like you want to mentor anybody because that's why I'm there to learn. And it's just like it was just really freaking. It wasn't a nice interview, and it's just like stop because I got there and I put on my shoes, I put on my clothes. I was ready to freaking go interview, and then like all of a sudden it's just like people are just disrespectful. I'm pretty sure like somebody else. Of course, one of the guys got a job since I'm the only woman. Maybe it's a guy that was late that got the job. Who knows? But anyway, I don't even freaking know like what the issue was. But that should have been the interview that I walked out on. But I didn't walk out on it at all. Maybe I'm just too like polite when it comes to these things because it's like, oh, it's wrong to walk out on people. It's like, no, it's your God given right to walk out on people. If people think it's their God given right to attack you, right? It's your God given right to walk out on a person. Because that's what I felt like it kind of was like with the guy with his face turning red and all that, and then the little questioning sequence. And it's like these people, they forgot who the frick they were and what's the point of this interview and what's the point of the job. Like, they really did. So I don't even. That's the interview that I should have walked out on. Straight up.